Hi, my name is Casten, and this is my ENME351 Lab 9 project. So as you can see from my Lab 9 project, I decided to create an arcade-style video game where the main objective of the game is to dodge the oncoming players and score a touchdown with the user player. As you score more and more touchdowns, the level will increase, and so the players on the opposing team will come at you faster and the game will become more difficult. And so the goal of the game is basically just to get as high of a level as possible. There is also one more element to the game besides avoiding to be tackled. There's actually a power-up in this game. And so the power-up is controlled by a separate sensor as the movement, which we'll get into a little bit more later. But so basically, once the power-up is charged, you become invincible to tackling. And so it's an easy touchdown. And then once you get to the end zone, the power-up is turned back off and you have to charge it up again. But anyways, that's just the basics of my Lab 9 project. All right, so now that you guys have seen sort of the basics of the gameplay and all that, I'm just gonna take you through some of the sensing and actuation that makes this a mechatronic system. So first of all, let's start with the sensing. Obviously, for this video game to work, we're gonna need some kind of method to move the player around the game field, right? And that's where these two potentiometers come in. So this one on the left is controlling the Y coordinate of the player. So it's moving the player horizontally or vertically up and down the field, as you can see here. And this potentiometer on the right is going to control the X coordinate of the player. So it's actually going to move the player horizontally throughout the field. And obviously they can be combined to create like diagonal movement and all that. And then as you can see here, if you run into an opposing player, you get tackled and you have to go back and you lose the game. But anyway, so there's the potentiometers and their function here. The other sensor I have is a thermistor. And so what this thermistor does is as you heat it up, and once this power up, as you can see in the top right of the screen, once this power up charges back up, as you heat the thermistor up, you'll actually trigger your power up, and your power up will make you invincible to like any tackling. So it'll basically get you a free win for that round. So that's the role of the thermistor, is just kind of to trigger that power up if the cooldown is over. Now moving on to the actuation. There's basically two main forms of actuation here, the bigger one being the servo. So as you can see here, I have like a little fake game board that I've attached the servo to. And so what this will do is the servo will actually point on the fake game board to where the player is in the actual game. So as you can see right now, the player's kind of in the low, like the blue end zone on the bottom of the screen, and that's exactly where the servo is pointing to. Now, as I move the player up throughout the screen, the servo moves with him. And as you can see, now I'm in the red end zone and the servo is pointing to the red end zone. And then the other thing that's kind of actuation here is the multicolored LED. So the way this one works is that it's basically actuated based on like what the color of the field that the player is on. So like as you can see, the player is in the blue end zone right now and the LED is lit up blue. As he moves into the green part of the field, it lights up green. And then as the player moves into the red end zone, it lights up red. So that's basically the LED's role. And that's pretty much it for the sensing and actuation here. So thanks for watching.